Hey guys, I am doing a triple review this time around. I have very little time and I am gonna do Iron Man 3, Thor the Dark World, and Captain America Winter Soldier. And maybe a little surprise. So, very little time, that's the introduction. Let's get into this review. So, Iron Man 3. Yeah, Iron Man 3. I don't like this movie. There are a couple of aspects about the movie that I do like, but the bad outweighs the good for me when it comes to this movie. I will get into those reasons in a spoiler review, by the way. So, this is going to have spoilers. This is going to be talking about plot lines and stuff like that. So, if you guys have not seen Iron Man 3, you have been warned. Iron Man 3 this time around was not directed by Jon Favreau, and that was the first mistake. Not that I have anything against the newer director for Iron Man 3. It's just that I don't think he was the right choice for this movie. And I feel like a lot of people were miscast in this movie. But let me get a couple of the positives out of the way because I want to talk on some of the negatives. So, Robert Downey Jr., it's great as Iron Man, as always. Pepper Potts is also good. This Rhodey is definitely better than the last movie. He's definitely gets more screen time, and you definitely like him a little bit more. And there's a Stan Lee cameo. I mean, that's another positive. You can look at it. And the visual effects are good. I mean, you don't go to the Marvel movies for trash visual effects. You're obviously going there for good visual effects. This movie definitely still succeeds in that. And that's about it. I'm done. I do like the idea of taking away Tony's technology and just letting him figure everything out and building stuff from scratch again. But we've already seen that in an Iron Man film, and we really don't need to go back to that. Honestly, they touched on that in the first film very well, and I think it should have been left alone. Also, the kid character that helps Tony out in the second act, he's really annoying. He's a really annoying character, and I really do not like him, and I don't think he fits in this movie at all. Also, I don't think there needs to be a love triangle between Tony, this other girl, and Pepper. I don't think there's any need for a love triangle there. That should just be left alone. I don't like that. No, get it away. It's gross, disgusting, it's weak. And my biggest issue about this movie, you guys should have already seen this coming, the Mandarin. The way the Mandarin is portrayed. In the comics, the Mandarin is Iron Man's greatest foe. He uses magic, he has these magical rings, he's able to outpower Iron Man. It would probably take the entire Avengers to take him down. And for him to be reduced to this actor named Trevor, we didn't pay to see Iron Man versus an actor named Trevor. We paid to see Iron Man 3 with the Mandarin. Iron Man versus the Mandarin. That's what we paid for. And we didn't receive that. That being said, there are some good ideas in this movie. I like the idea of the armor that flies towards him and becomes a part of his suit, but it's poorly executed ideas. His armors don't really get the chances to shine. The pacing feels kind of off, and it feels like it went from a drama to an action movie to a drama to an action movie, which is a problem with what I had with The Incredible Hulk. But that executed it better. This movie definitely does not do that. I do not like Iron Man 3. I just really don't like this movie. And I'm going to give Iron Man 3 a 4 out of 10, guys. I don't like this movie. I just really don't like this movie. Thor the Dark World. This is also another interesting film. I don't hate it. I also don't like it either. And I don't even think it's okay. I think it's decent enough. I don't even think it's decent enough, much like Captain America. Like I said in my last review where I said that was decent enough. I don't even think this movie is like that type of decent. So the biggest problem I have with the Thor movie is the fact that it takes itself way too seriously. It just seems like okay, the thing that Thor Ragnarok did beautifully was that it didn't take itself so seriously. Okay, and the first Thor, I can understand why it did that. It was introducing the character. That's fine. But there's no reason we should have a dark, depressing Thor movie with the worst Marvel villain ever, the Dark Elves, outside of the Mandarin. There's no reason for that. And I just felt like the writing for this movie was extremely lazy. Thor's mother dies in this movie. A dark elf killed her. And basically, I guess they want to use something to destroy the... I don't know what their plot is. Their plot makes no sense in this movie. That's the other thing I don't like about this movie, is that it's so messy. It's very messy, and I don't like it. Although, I will say I place this higher than Iron Man 3 for sure. I definitely still think that Chris Hemsworth in this movie is great. Loki faking his death, that scene was amazing. Definitely really good. Thor's girlfriend in this movie is pretty decent. There's no cringeworthy acting like in Iron Man 3. No annoying characters, and I guess the plot is not as clear, but I just have a lot less nitpicks with this movie. And yeah, that's all I can really say about Thor the Dark World. I don't know. It's like we had two really interesting movies after the Avengers. It's like two iffy movies. So Thor the Dark World gets a 6.8 out of 10. Now we get to my favorite Marvel Cinematic movie, Captain America the Winter Soldier. Everything about this movie is perfect when it comes to action, acting, characterization, and plot. This movie succeeds in all fronts. The plot for Captain America the Winter Soldier is about a more modern age Steve Rogers working for the SHIELD operation, and basically he's going on missions for them, and he finds out that it's all corrupted by Hydra, the guys who he was enemies with in the first Captain America movie. And basically he needs help from Black Widow and Falcon to help him hunt down the truth, and then he discovers more is not what it seems. And so this movie does everything perfectly, as I said before. The action feels like a spy movie, where it has the very quick cuts when they're throwing punches and stuff. Very quick cuts with the shaky cam, which looks really good. This probably has some of the best action in a Marvel movie. The Russo brothers really outdid themselves with this movie. Everything is perfect with the action scenes. This movie makes Captain America cool. The first movie, it made him okay. He was likable, but this movie really made him into a character that you can really get behind and really like and really root for when he's kicking butt. And when he does beat up the bad guys, it's good stuff. And the Winter Soldier with his buddy Bucky being the Winter Soldier is very tragic. And I really do like that aspect of the story. And this movie also introduces Falcon, which I think is also a great inclusion into this universe, still to this day. And Black Widow definitely gets more characterization. I especially like the line where she says, "I don't know everything, Rogers." She says, "I just act like I know everything." And it really does flesh each character out in that way. That's the best thing about this movie, is the characters. This movie is flawless in my opinion. I really do like Captain America the Winter Soldier. Very good movie. I love it. It's good stuff. And you guys already know what grade I'm going to give it. I'm going to give Captain America the Winter Soldier a 10 out of 10. Easily. And now, to the surprise I said I was going to do at the end of the video, I'm going to be reviewing another film because we need to hurry up for Endgame. So I'm going to be reviewing Guardians of the Galaxy, which also came out after Captain America the Winter Soldier, so yay. I am Groot. Had to wear the shirt for this review. So Guardians of the Galaxy was directed by James Gunn, and it's about these group of criminals who have went their own separate ways, and they all meet up and they all get captured by a prison, and they all have to learn to put their differences aside and team up to take on a villain named Ronan, who is the most stereotypical villain ever. But anyways, moving on. They basically have to learn and put their differences aside and become the Guardians of the Galaxy to defend the galaxy against this threat named Ronan. And Ronan wants to wipe out this race of people. I keep on forgetting their names, but he wants to wipe them out for some strange reason they never really explain. And oh, by the way, he has a power stone, so I guess that's something about his character. To be quite honest, Guardians of the Galaxy is an extremely fun movie. Featuring like older soundtracks from like the 80s or the 70s. Very good music to be including in there. Also, the characters are hilarious. Every Marvel movie leading up to this point, sure they had a little bit of humor in there, especially the Avengers, but none of them had as much humor as the Guardians of the Galaxy. The Guardians of the Galaxy introduced the loads of humor. It introduced not taking itself way too seriously. That's what Guardians of the Galaxy did, and that's what I really respect about this movie. Rocket and Groot are probably like the best characters in the movie outside of Peter Quill and Drax. Drax has always been amazing, but I think Rocket and Groot steal the show. Very good characters. Peter Quill is very likable since he's the lead, and the movie succeeds in fleshing him out well and letting you get behind the reasons of why he does what he does. And yeah, this movie is just a blast all the way through, and I really do like that about this movie. That being said, the story may not be as strong, and Ronan is not a great villain. And that's expected through Phase 2 and Phase 3 films, is the villains aren't as strong. And that's what DC was killing it with, was villains. DC was killing it with villains, and Marvel was not at this time. And that was a little bit disappointing for this film, but oh well. Guardians of the Galaxy more than makes up for that, and I really like this movie. I really do. I still got a lot of the soundtracks stuck in my head, and I'm gonna have to wait a couple of weeks before those go, but anyways, Guardians of the Galaxy is an easy 8 out of 10. We'll watch again. So, hope you guys enjoyed my review. This 4-movie review was a little bit exhausting, trying to think of all the things I was going to say because I didn't write down any notes this time. So, anyways, if you guys liked the video, make sure to subscribe today to join the Isaiahization.